Welcome back to Compas FC. We've been on a little bit of a sabbatical. I'll admit that is my fault. Training camp got to me. JC noticed the tan right away. So yeah, it's been the sun kind of got to me, but we're back. Thank goodness, because obviously everybody needs a little football in their life. I'm joined obviously by JC Cervantes. JC, how are you doing?
Solid, champ. Trying to stay cool, trying to beat the heat, trying to catch up to your tan. It's a little bit of a contradiction, but here we go, right?
Yeah, I know. There's some white spots all around. I'm kind of like a Dalmatian, I guess. But obviously from the red light district, Eddie Rodriguez. Eddie, how you
Here
doing?
we go. We're back. The guys are back.
We're back.
Now we go from the group chat now back to the podcast. So obviously, obviously some good stuff happening. But we got to start. Well, we'll make our rounds. We'll talk some MLS. We'll talk some European football. But obviously, we got to start here in the homeland in the U.S. of A. because supposedly Lionel Messi is taking the MLS by storm. He scored 11 goals in 9 games. Everyone in the U.S. is just barely discovering who Lionel Messi is, I guess, and they're all very impressed. But Eddie, I'm gonna start off with you. What have you made of Messi's first few games in the MLS?
He's definitely turned around that franchise, right? I mean, Inter Miami were like probably the worst team in the MLS before he arrived. So let's give him credit there. I mean, for sure, they looked a lot better now. Messi was going to get his goals regardless. I mean, the level of competition, yeah, the guy's way above everyone, even if he's 35, 36, whatever you want to say, in that league. But let's not hype everything. Like a lot of these goals too were like errors by like defenders, goalies. Some of these goals were given by the referee. I mean, it's good. It's good and it's bad. Like I said in the very beginning, Messi's going to expose the MLS for what it is, and it's a really bad league. Hopefully, he can encourage other players to move to the MLS to raise the level of the MLS, similar to what Cristiano did when he moved to Saudi. But yeah, I've been impressed. I mean, we didn't know what kind of shape he was in, if he was even going to contribute. He was just taking a sabbatical, but it looks like he's, really embracing it and enjoying himself at Miami.
They're playing this weekend in LA, and supposedly they don't know if he's going to play or not because I guess he has some club or some country duties with Argentina coming up pretty soon. But JC, what are some of your takeaways?
I think you hit it right on the nail with that one. He really is exposing the league. I mean, you watch his gameplay. It's not like he's scoring screamers from 30, 40 yards out. And the one he did hit was, a skidder, I guess, that kind of just rolled past the goalie. Poor placement, couldn't even get a dive on it. Looked like the hair out there,
Oh my!
And it's just real simple play. Like that's the thing that's really getting me. It's simple 1-2 plays, tap ins, and he's doing real. He's está cascareando. He's just scrimmaging out there, and he's really kind of putting the league on notice. They really do need to invest and get the infrastructure going. If 2026 World Cup's going to be any good, and USA is going to have a strong showing, they really better start investing and making this league a lot better. They had the Leagues Cup, but that was pretty crappy, to be honest, and very poor officiating, and it's all just one-sided, not very fair when you kind of look at it from a neutral standpoint. And he's having to go. I mean, he's still, the most naturally gifted player out here in the league. So, I mean, you kind of expect this kind of showing from him. Is he going to go and win the league and be plus, top guy? I don't know. We'll see, but I doubt it. It's too much of a deficit. And, he's just kind of exposing the league, like Eddie said.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And I mean, it's literally like when people are like, "Oh, Messi's playing," and people put it on Twitter. This is basically what I think about when Messi's playing in what's it called in the MLS.
Basically, that's the same exact way I see it.
And big trouble.
For all of our audio listeners, we got the Billy Madison.
It's Billy Madison when he plays dodgeball against all the little kids in in and during recess, all the kindergartners. But that's exactly what I think when I see it. I mean,
Just hanging
sometimes like, you see the guys and they're just like standing around, like defenders are standing around, like they're like, oh wow, boom, and like they nail the goal. And I'm like, dude, come on, like move around, do something.
What was it, the Cincinnati game where they all just kind of ran into each other because they were scared to tackle them?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Bro, like, do your job.
JC, before we get back to Messi, are you surprised that David De Gea hasn't been picked up at all?
No, not at all. I mean, like I mentioned,
Like it, show.
As I mentioned, top players get picked up, and come to find out, guess I was right again, huh? It's not top after all.
Jesus Christ, with this guy, man! Like De Gea leaves Manchester United, and you're still talking about De Gea.
Hey, says the guy with the Pogba curse, right? I don't know.
Crazy.
Apparently,
well, we'll get to that one.
Well, yeah, we'll get into Man U in a little bit. That'll be the little fun
it's like
topic.
Yaya Toure, I guess now. Huh?
But obviously, like, I mean, I guess my form of thinking is like, obviously, the guy is impressive. He's done it for years, but it just, like you guys said, it just exposes the MLS and how bad everything is. I mean, Busquets literally is the one creating all this stuff, and
he's
Jordi
chilling
Alba is too. Like, both of those guys are just playing, like, literally doing everything. It's like, I don't know, like
going like at 10% speed.
Yeah,
exactly. They're like the Harlem Globetrotters playing against just regular Joes. Like they're just like literally like it's back when what's his name? Bill Russell used to play in the NBA. Like,
bro, just imagine if Suarez was there.
Crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like if Suarez would have actually come here,
he almost signed too.
And not just Suarez. Like, can you imagine? Like, I know that Inter were chasing Sergio Ramos. Like, Ramos would be shoving half of these guys, and they'd probably be like, "Oh, like I bet you right now, Ramos would have like
Ramos comes to MLS and plays striker."
Yeah,
exactly.
Ramos comes in here, plays striker
around Madrid. He tell the
San
coach,
Diego FC.
I'm going up, and
that's
he'd go
striker.
up, and so exactly. He should. That'd be fun.
Bring him in. Grow the hair out. Come play striker, San Diego FC.
Yeah,
we'll all put the wigs on.
Exactly.
We'll get Ramos wigs.
But I mean, obviously, we all know that this is exactly what the MLS wanted. This is what they did when they paid him all that money.
That's what Apple wanted, right?
Yeah, exactly. People will be talking about him, and I'm telling you, like all these people that I never see tweet out anything about soccer, like, oh, the GOAT, and I'm kind of like, dude, you guys don't even know anything about soccer, and you guys are over here like tweeting
it's
out
like
about it.
When they said that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase were out there at the Cincy game to go watch the GOAT. I guarantee that, first of all, they probably don't even know who Messi is. And second of all, this is nothing new. There's a lot of people who play other sports and go support other sports in the city.
They could be part owners too of the team.
So this narrative that everyone's going out of their way to go watch Messi, like, no, man, like, relax. Like, he's a big deal, like, globally, but maybe not so much in the U.S. And especially those who barely watch the MLS. Like, come on.
Yeah, and since he's like first place, but the Burrow and Chase went to go watch Messi, not even support their fellow.
They had FC Cincy jerseys on. So
yeah,
I don't know how they went out of their way to go support Messi or go be
the final. They for sure.
Cut that.
And that's the thing is that I know they're trying to. They're trying to sell it, but like. People just go to like watch, and Will Ferrell's going to be there at the game with LAFC, Magic Johnson, all these guys, and they're going to be like, "Oh, they're there to watch."
Like they're always there.
They're all minority owners too. It's like okay, but I mean that's just the hype that you're going to get when it comes in. Remember when we were watching the debacles after Neymar was gone and some of these guys were gone, you'd watch the debacles against Liverpool, against Roma. Against all these teams, at the end,
that was one of my favorites.
These guys would have like they'd cross their fingers, they'd cross their toes, they'd cross their eyes, and they'd be like, "Messi magic, come on! Oh, are we gonna get a little bit of Messi magic?" And the announcers would even beg. They'd go, "Messi!" and he'd miss. Or
let's just go back to his debut game. Stu. Like he touched the ball. Like he touched the like bro. Dude. This is how you know they're casual fans. They've never seen this guy play, or they've only seen him in the World Cup, and now
they just saw that YouTube highlight clip, right?
Well, and the problem was that like Kim Kardashian and LeBron pulled up to his first game, so then everybody was like, "Oh, look, it's they're gonna come and see the GO," and it's like. Okay, but I mean, obviously, like we all know, like we've said, he is talented, but it stuff like isn't warranted because I mean, let's be honest. If Cristiano was here, I bet you he'd be nailing like 9 games. I bet you Cristiano already would probably have about like 18 to 20 goals. Like
and hitting screamers.
At that,
it'd
right?
be
And hitting screamers from like
he'd be
30.
doing what the Manchester United Christie used to
Bagging.
do, like nailing it from
He was
from
still doing it.
distance.
He was
Yeah,
still
no, I
showing
know
up
he still
everybody
does it,
on
but
the
I'm
team.
saying like he'd be doing that like on the regular because he'd know, oh, these guys aren't going to be able to get this. Like, look what he's doing in the Saudi league. Like, he's their top scorer. Like, he's making a lot of those guys look stupid. Like today, he could have had a hat trick, but he decided to give a penalty to one of his teammates. Obviously, he's selfish, and he decided to give the penalty to somebody else so that he'd take it. So
he missed it too.
You can see though, like today, they took away a goal from Cristiano, and for letting 2 defenders crash into each other, he hits a header and they call it off. They wave it off. But Messi freaking points at a player and they come up and they're like, "Oh, yellow card." It's like, dude, come on! Like it just Miami FC looks like it's destined for like a movie. Like it's a movie. It just feels like a movie. Like Messi came to the worst team in the MLS, owned by the great David Beckham, and he rose them from the ashes and he won them trophies. It's
quite the narrative you have there.
It's a Hollywood script.
Oh, you got the script? They emailed you, or
it seems like it. I mean,
you're in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shit. If I was that in,
you're in.
But it just feels like it's destined for something like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels like it's destined for them to win the league. I mean, the only team that could honestly stop them is probably LAFC, and that's like if they.
There's a couple of teams as long as they play and they don't just ball watch the guy.
Well, exactly.
That's
why I feel like
because since he had him on the fence, and
they could have lost the Leagues Cup final. They could have lost the Leagues Cup final.
100%. Since he was on them the whole way through.
It was they played against was it Nashville?
Tennessee, yeah.
They played against Nashville, right? And
they played Tennessee or the Cincy in the semifinal.
Yeah. So I think Nashville could have easily beat them. So yeah, I mean, let's not get this wrong. This Inter Miami team is still really bad. Like,
they're stacked at great
team.
By the way, Joseph Martinez, like I thought he was like a huge goal scorer like a couple of years ago, and now all of a sudden, what the ACL tear or what?
I think coming back from an injury, you're not going to be the same. You're not going to have the same step. You're not going to have the same speed.
Different team too, Atlanta was like firing on all cylinders. And
and I'm not going to give Tata Martino any credit for any of that. So
different squads,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But all right, I'm excited for this. We're gonna jump over to Man U versus Nottingham Forest, 3-2. Man U end up they fall behind really quick, 2-0, and then they come back and win the game. JC, how did you see this game play out?
The bottom feeder lover strikes again, huh? It was all Rashford.
Now he's a bottom feeder. Why is he a bottom feeder?
Nottingham Forest isn't on the bottom.
We're losing 2-0.
Because your boy gave up possession and couldn't track anybody down.
Now it's Marcus's Rashford's fault.
Oh, he didn't run side by side next to the striker.
It was a breakaway. It was a breakaway. Couldn't get the tackle in. He's not a defender.
He was right behind him.
He's not a defender.
Now
you're acting like the Forest guy's not fast. Me and Fernando were there watching the game live. We were there watching the game live.
Exactly. Then you should know he was right next to him.
Don't play me.
Right next to him. Don't play me, bro. He was right there.
Let the listeners know what you think about Marcus Rashford being involved in all 3 goals.
Yeah, Bruno
being named man of the match.
Yeah, Bruno didn't play. Nobody else did anything. Yeah, it was Rashford all 11 positions versus Nottingham Forest, and Bruno didn't do anything. He didn't have a solid captain's performance.
Involved in all 3 games, all 3 goals.
4, 5, all 5 goals. Yeah, Nottingham Forest goals too. Yeah,
I mean.
For sure.
Let's keep it
let's
real
give them
here.
Those 2 also.
Let's keep it real here. Without Marcus Rashford in that game, I don't think Manchester United beat Forest.
For sure. Okay.
So,
I'm saying Bruno didn't play at all.
I mean, great game by Bruno. He showed a better character.
Now
he showed a better character.
It wasn't other players in United other than Rashford. That's crazy.
Was tireless. Come on, man.
That's crazy.
Let's be real.
You do know other players.
Give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, Bruno.
You always do this. I don't know why.
Give
credit where credit is due.
Bottom feeder.
Marcus Rashford, man of the match, involved in all 3 goals.
Yeah, for sure.
Bruno showed up better this week than he did last weekend against Spurs.
Well, now you got it against Bruno. You know anybody else by any chance?
Eddie, go ahead.
Anybody else play for United?
Come on, champ. We were
Just
there
Rashford?
watching the game. We go down 2-0 quickly.
Yeah,
And then
you don't
everyone's
recall
panicking.
Rashford just letting homeboy run through him? No,
He caught up to him.
and he
He's not
couldn't
a
make a
defender.
tackle. Oh,
He tried to make the tackle.
Oh, he tried.
But
Now he
the guy,
tried. Let's
bro,
rewind it.
the
Let's
guy's
rewind
a
it. It's
tank.
not his job to
He's
tackle.
the guy's
It's
a
not his
tank.
job to
You seen
defend.
the Nottingham Forest forward? He's a
All right,
tank, bro.
Now your boy done
You couldn't even make that tackle.
physicality.
Come on
You talk
now.
this guy up like he's the second coming of Cristiano, and you can't make a tackle. Christy makes that tackle.
Not playing on. He went back to playing on the left wing.
Oh, okay.
Ten Hag finally realized that he can't be playing Marcus at striker. He has to play him on the left.
Because he saw.
And he was involved in all goals. And then Onana had a few stops here and there.
Oh, you do know another player, Onana. There we go. Let's see. That's all we got. That's all we're getting from him.
I think we're definitely missing Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw's been a big miss for sure. He's going to be a big miss. He's coming weeks. But honestly, hats off to Marcus Rashford because without him,
there we go.
There's no way they beat Forest.
Let's do a counter. Let's do a Marcus Rashford counter. How many can we get from him?
Yeah.
Let's see.
How would you guys? Well, hold on. Before I do that, JC, did you see this? I saw this today on Twitter.
Oh,
JC saw it.
Official Marcus Rashford has been voted the PFA's PL Fans Player of the Year.
Of course he did. Yeah, of course he was.
Sure, yeah, I guess. I don't know what that's gonna do for the club, but
look
at
that first comment.
Yeah,
for doing what?
I'm just saying.
Come on, man. It's probably a City fan or something.
Yeah, but here I am, right? I'm the one making this up.
Read the comments, bro.
Playing shit and feeding the kids. Yeah, I forgot 40 goals and assists. All right, playing like shit. Let's see. Hope he can replicate that performance again. Surely not. Yeah, that's Mets, man. Apparently, De Bruyne didn't play any football. Harry Kane didn't play any football. Haaland didn't play football.
The fans have spoken, and the fans chose Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
I should tell you everything you need to know. JC's
a
hater.
He played all 11 positions for sure.
JC's a hater.
He played all 22 positions.
You're hating on an academy player that's made it to the first team.
Okay, all right. You can't name anybody other than him. He's the only one.
How would you guys? How would you guys review Onana's first 3 games?
He's still getting acclimated. He's still getting adjusted to the Premier League and the physicality. He can't really take his time like he does over in Netherlands. They do put a lot more press on him, I feel like, and he doesn't have the time he thinks he does. Just to be a little bit better with the decision making, a little more sure. Coming out the back, he could have really gave away that pen. I thought he did well defending the box, earlier in the season already in the first match where he could have, easily given that away. But, for me, good goalkeeper, fighting in his box, staying aggressive, staying locked in. And, nothing wrong with that and staying physical. But I think he still has some work to do. I don't think he's already a lock and he's like the guy and the answer, right? But, still a huge upgrade from what we had before. And it gives you a better opportunity to win every game.
Eddie, what do you think about Onana?
I would say it's a huge upgrade.
Rashford plays goalie.
I wouldn't say it's a huge upgrade.
Rashford plays goalie.
I would say
don't ask him.
He's a good goalie for sure. He could have done a lot better for that first goal. Other than that,
maybe somebody could have tackled him. I don't know.
I think he could have done better. It's his job, right? His job is to stop goals from going in. So,
and it's your job to recover the ball if you lose it. I don't know. It's crazy.
So, Eddie, what would you? You think he could be better?
He's gonna be better. It's his first couple games in the new league. It's way more physical in the Premier League compared to Italy or the Netherlands. So it's gonna take a little bit of time, but we know one thing is that this is the year that Manchester United need to take that next step, and supposedly this is the guy that Ten Hag wanted. So question mark. Well, there will be questions asked if that's not what happens, and if Nana's to blame, then did he really make the best decision letting David De Gea go? A truly tested goalkeeper in the league, years of experience.
That's why he's signed to a club for sure. So good he is.
All right, guy.
All right. Obviously, speaking of which, obviously, there are some question marks. I mean, like you guys mentioned, Luke Shaw got injured. Varane is now out for a little bit. It seems like the midfield hasn't really gelled with. Oh, Mason Mount is out, and it didn't seem like it gelled with Mason Mount in there. So, Eddie, what do you think are some moves that Man U need to make before the deadline?
I mean, these French players can't stay healthy, man. I don't know. Martial's never healthy. Varane's never healthy. I mean, Pogba, when he was at Manchester United, could not stay healthy.
There you go, it's referee.
So I don't know. It's like a Pogba curse or something, and he put on the French players.
Totally. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, definitely they need to get rid of Harry Maguire. I think that's been a distraction. He needs to go. Allow Ten Hag to bring in another left back. I think he's in for Cucurella, perhaps. But definitely we need another midfielder as well. And I think bringing Amrabat and getting that over the line is going to be crucial in the next week or so, because I don't think Eriksen's going to have the legs to play next to Casemiro all season. I think Casemiro can still play every single game, but I don't necessarily see Eriksen playing every single game. And if we want Bruno Fernandes to be playing more on top and more freely, then you're going to need someone like an Amrabat to, help pick up that slack that, Eriksen doesn't bring defensively. Eriksen's a great offensive player, but defensively, he's a liability. And bringing a player like Amrabat's definitely going to help, ease some of that pressure on not just Casemiro, but on Bruno as well. So, those are, some key things I think that need to happen. Harry Maguire, take the pay cut guy or get bought out of your contract, because at this point, you're a detriment to the team. You're just a distraction. And I know West Ham can use someone like you. And why not go to West Ham and, try to, rebuild your reputation there. West Ham's a great club. It's a big club. And, you're taking a pay cut, but, they are in Europa League. David Moyes has the boys in first place right now as we speak. So, West Ham might have an exciting season. Why not be a part of that?
What, JC, what do you think are some signings that they should make?
Honestly, I like the idea of, coach going out and getting some loans. Don't be so quick to just jump on a guy and sign guys just to sign them. We've seen this kind of already happen before where, like a Sancho move was huge. It almost didn't really make sense at sometimes because you weren't really seeing the price tag come up, right? And then even just you got to get more depth, man. And we've been saying this since last season and even before that. Like, we have to have rotations. I don't think Casemiro these days could play every single game. He was, he was grabbing his hamstring, I think it was, right at the end of the game. I don't remember exactly what muscle it was, but he went down, and that's just another red flag. Like, what are you going to do if Casemiro gets hurt? You're now forced to play Scott and who else in the midfield? And let's get some loans in here. I think Horsberg was another guy that was mentioned, right? As a possible loan. He's got 2 years left on his contract over at Spurs. You loan him out for a year, and then Spurs, I'm pretty sure, want him to play more. And Mourinho was big on him, so that's a big cosign there. If he was playing just about every game for Mourinho, then why not bring him over on the loan? Cucurella would be good just from a pressure standpoint. He runs a lot, presses a lot, very active when it comes to going forward, gets a lot of crosses in. Fortunately, we don't have a striker. We don't have anybody really that can get in on the other side of it. And, you've seen Anthony's not clinical when he's getting those shots near the box, when he's 1v1. So, Umbro out would be great just because of his World Cup performance. And if you can get anything like that consistently from him at United, it'd be great to see, because the midfield's getting ran over, man. Like, you're not seeing guys really tracking as much as before. And it's tiresome to be running back and forth all the time. And you run such a high lineup. And if you don't got the legs to run back, you see what happens. You go down 1-2-0 super quick when you're just super high up all the time. And you got to have the players to complement the system. And, at this point, we're too far in and to buy anybody. Let's just start getting some loans, man, and making it happen quick, because, you can't be wasting time. And come deadline day, you're just hoping the fax machine doesn't break, right?
Rent free, bro.
Well, I didn't even say anything, man.
You're talking about fax machines. You're talking about fax machines.
Hey.
Get over it, guy. Get over it.
I didn't say anything.
You know,
What
we
did I
need
say?
another striker. We need another center midfielder. We need
What did I
another
say?
center back. And we need another left back.
What did I say?
Talking
So
about fax
defensive.
machines.
So
You
hostile,
talking
man.
about fax machines.
Hey, just saying. These things happen. Deadline days. They're weird days. They're weird days. Let's not wait till the end. That's all I'm saying. You get so defensive there, champ.
All right.
Obviously, you guys both still have confidence in Eric Ten Hag and everything he's doing, correct?
What?
Oh, I do.
What kind
Yeah.
of question is that, champ?
Yeah, I don't know. You were a little
What?
critical about
That's
him letting
kind
the
of
goalkeeper
crazy.
go.
I can be critical all I want. Don't mean I
sounded
have
kinda
faith in the
upset.
guy.
You
Come
sounded
on,
kind of
man.
upset.
Don't
You cut your
disrespect
boy.
me with that. Like, what is this? Arsenal fan TV where we know we're Arteta out, black. Arteta out.
And then he
Come
wins a
on,
game.
man.
Arteta's the
yeah.
man, black.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man, black.
No, I'm just asking. I mean, I've seen some people worried on social media about him.
I'm not
So
worried about anything. Is it concerning that you ended the season on a high last season, and then this season you look like disjointed and not fully clicking? Yeah, it's a little concerning, but that's not down to the coach. I think that's just down to the players, or down that it was such a short break that they had. Because let's be honest, the turnaround for the league was, Champions League's over. You do a month and a half of preseason, and boom, you're back into it. So
And a forced U.S. travel system and DirecTV sponsored cups.
It could be a lot of
It's
things.
nuts, man.
But I don't think it's down to Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag is going to get the boys firing again. And it's exciting times, especially if Højlund can come on in and really adapt himself to the league and hit the ground running.
who plays first, Varane or Højlund?
I said Højlund is going to play first for sure.
That's what it's looking like right now. It's the
It's
Pogba curse now, guys. Get ready. Hashtag
curse.
PP curse.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Let's do it. We'll see if Rashford doesn't show up. Or we'll see. Hopefully, we get another bottom feeder team so we can get him to show up again.
Don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, guy.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see him score
All
a
these
goal
points
like
are
an
critical.
assist.
All these points are critical.
Obviously, it's gonna hurt my brother to hear this, but Dan and Dago, we have to go ahead.
Oh yeah, I love to hear
it. Newcastle.
No, I hate to hear it. I hate Liverpool.
They faced off last weekend. Liverpool or Newcastle. Trent Alexander-Arnold had basically given Liverpool or Newcastle an easy goal. They got down to 10 men after Virgil van Dijk got kicked out of the game for a red card. And then they just bottled it. They lost 2-1. Eddie, thoughts on this game?
You said it. They bottled it. They should have put the game away, man, or at the very least be a lot less careless with the ball and giving the ball away and allowing Liverpool to gain some possession. You'd think you'd keep the ball for the majority of the time, seeing that they're down to 10 men and hopefully get them tired and then get that crucial second goal to put them away. But that's not the case. You got, Newcastle were giving the ball away cheaply. And then this is where Liverpool thought, okay, like, you're going to allow us to have the ball. Like, great. We're going to create some chances because it can. I think the most surprising thing about this wasn't so much that Newcastle bottled it, but that who scored for Liverpool? Darwin Núñez. I think that was some of the most surprising things. And both finishes were clinical, like super clinical. I know after the game he came out and gave a shout out to Marcelo Bielsa, saying that he's raising his game because now Bielsa is the head coach of the Uruguayan team, national team. If you're Jurgen Klopp, you definitely take this as a positive. As far as the decision of send Van Dijk to the showers, I guess I kind of disagree with it. I didn't see a whole lot of contact in the challenge, but you should never know with the Premier League and the referees these days.
So
some
nuts.
days they
interpretation is ridiculous.
Yeah, some days they get it right, and most of the days they don't. So, but Newcastle, you got to be more clinical. Harvey Barnes came in and had an easy layoff to Callum Wilson and choked. I don't know what he was thinking. He could have laid off the ball and have an easy tap in, but he wanted to play hero. And those things can't happen. Almiron hit the post like 3 times. That's unlucky. But take nothing away from Liverpool. I guess I hate to say it, but they stuck in there and got the result.
JC, what did you make of the game?
Yeah, frustrating. I mean, you got a team on the ropes. You got to kill them off. You gotta stop being so careless. And I hope that Newcastle learns from this and they take it, with a grain of salt, and they understand and know what they have to do to finish these games. Because if they're going to be playing Champions League and you get a 10-man match, you know what I mean? And that's really what you got to see is the big picture here. What's really at stake? You lost to a 10-man Liverpool team. And, it almost feels like the Premier League said, here, you can have McAllister back, but I'm going to take Virgil. And that was pretty crazy, and for Nunez to be firing, if Nunez starts firing off for Liverpool and he plays up to his price tag and, because the guy's got, talent. He's quick, very strong. He's shifty. You got a possible threat up there playing with Gakpo. You don't want to see it too much. And you don't want to.
Luis Diaz back too, so
they're getting strong. If Salah leaves, they get another forward, or that just gives them more play time. Because realistically, Nunez could be playing on the wing as well, and Gakpo could play on the wing. Nunez as striker, so they've got options. And Jurgen likes to run, and if he gets that guy going and he plays his way, it could be a tough headache for a lot of teams. And Newcastle, I don't know. And then for the coach at the end of the game to really go on and complain about, they should have got another red. It's like, my man, you're already playing versus a 10-man team. And,
yeah, I think Trent, to be fair, I think Eddie Howe's right. I think Trent should have been sent off. I should have seen a second yellow, but
yeah, but that's just the game though. They make one mistake, they take away another, they try to right their wrongs in game. It's just nuts. But Newcastle can't bottle it, man. Can't be careless in possession. Got to be clinical. Be team players. Pass the ball. Keep ripping your shots, and just play simple game. Don't go try to be the hero, Barnes and all these other guys. And just finish them off. You had them on the ropes. It almost looked like sometimes Liverpool were just like, don't score any more goals on us, and then Newcastle goes and gives it away, and there they are. Look like the Padres out there today.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the game was just hard to watch, especially when they had 10 men and everything, and you're kind of like, okay, maybe they're gonna take it away, and they just couldn't.
I mean, down to 10 men, at the halfway mark of the first half, like you would think that Newcastle, especially the way they've been playing, they're gonna score 5 goals on Liverpool. And at times, that's what it felt like. But again, that's what happens when you're careless and you're not clinical. And if you're not buying into what the coach is saying and you want to be the hero, then, that's a detriment to the team, especially because that's such an easy goal to score. Like 2v1, lay it off, easy tap in, you win the game. You'll get the recognition from your coach because you did the simple thing. And, maybe that could lead to more playing time. But now, back to the bench you go, and now you got to earn that spot again and earn that respect.
And it's almost like this is why you're on the bench.
Yeah. I mean, I hope I'm not losing people with this, but Coach Orion said it best in Mighty Ducks 3. I mean, he said it best right here.
Don't be careless, but don't be too careful either. You cannot be afraid to lose. That's how you gain the confidence to attack the game when the puck isn't yours. That's how you attack life.
There you go. He
All
said
right,
it.
Coach. Okay, Coach.
All right. You got all the
got me real inspired.
Oh.
Well, I'm inspired for this next topic, but obviously there's a guy making some noise in La Liga. Jude Bellingham.
Hey, Jude.
3 games in, he has 4 goals and I think it was 1 or 2 assists. But since Benzema's not there, it kind of has looked like he is that false 9, goes up there. He's been doing a lot of headers, a lot of other stuff, and he has been playing with confidence. He looks pretty good, but I mean, obviously you can't keep up this level, especially with. But I mean, he's going to have to, especially with some of the injuries that they have. But JC, what have you kind of made so far of his I mean, honestly, no other player in La Liga had scored. He's the first player to score 4 goals in his first 3 games since Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's a good list to
Hey,
be
that
on, I
guy's pretty
guess.
all right, huh?
Yeah, I think that's pretty
He's got a
good.
couple of
But
records out there. I heard. I don't know. I
but
have to look that up.
what did you make of
No,
that?
I really just think the thing that's separating him a lot is his physicality, just the way he
Yeah.
plays. He's not really afraid to go in there, and lunge in the tackles and do the dirty work and do what needs to happen. When you look at that last goal, the first goal he scored, I think he just stuck his foot out there, chested it down and just kicks it out however he could. And the guy's ambitious and he's really playing his heart out out there every day. And it's really good, setup from Ancelotti too. He's really putting him in the right positions. You can't just say like he threw him out there and he said, "Hey, here you go, kid. Go do something now."
Go win me a
I
game.
think that position where he's playing him at this false 9. It's almost like he's stacking them together, and he's really kind of just playing like, I guess you could say, like Vicente del Bosque used to play with the Spain team, where he's just got a bunch of creative players and everybody's knocking the ball around, and you end up just tapping one in just because you're just you got so much quality around there. But for me, the biggest takeaway from Jude is just his physicality, bro. Like, he's too strong out there sometimes, it looks like. And sometimes guys try to go in and tackle him, he's just boom, nope, not today, champ. And he just keeps going on and he just keeps on trucking. But he is who I thought he was. This is a great start. The last guy to do that was Cristiano, and you see how that ended up with I think it was like 5 Champions Leagues, right? Or something
Just
like
5
that.
champions.
And like
Just
3 in
5
a row or
champions.
something. And
But somebody else won more Ballon d'Or than him, but I guess we won't get into
kind of a big deal. So I think he's sliding in well, and he's not letting the crest really scare him away, and he's living up to the challenge.
What's crazy, because I mean, obviously stuff came out about. Well, I mean, we'll get into that in a second. But first thing he did when he scored his first goal is kiss the crest. So I mean, you could tell. I mean,
through and through, huh?
Now I know we're getting into this generation where we feel like players care more about their the last name instead of the crest and stuff. But there are still some of those that still honor the crest, and you can tell that they love playing for the teams that they're playing. So that's a huge positive. But especially a kid so young at 20 years old. Eddie, what have you made so far of it?
No, the occasion is never too big for Jude. He showed it at Birmingham, showed it at Borussia. He's shown it for the England national team. Now he's showing it at arguably the biggest club in the world, right? In Real Madrid. So as of right now, he's putting Madrid on his back. And, there's not much that I can say about him that hasn't been said. That the guy's a complete stud. He is the complete player. Obviously, he can get better. Everyone can get better. But just imagine, like, get this guy some help up there and let him roam the midfield free alongside Valverde. The Madrid midfield is going to be good for the next 10 years. But, Jude Bellingham, no, I'm not surprised that he's doing this, honestly. I mean, the guy has an eye for a goal. He can pass. He plays like he's, been playing professionally for years. And, he hasn't, especially not at this level. So, yeah, it's Jude Bellingham. What a way to start your
that guy.
What's crazy though is everybody's trying to kind of like make a rift between these guys. Like supposedly a story came out of Borussia Dortmund that players were so happy that he's gone, that he was selfish, that all he cared about was himself. And then here you see him in South France, like 2 days or 3 days after they win that game, the South France with Rodrigo, Camavinga, and some of the other players. And it's like, as soon as he scored, every time he scored, all the players rush at him and they tackle him, and you could tell that he's really adapted well to this team. And it's just funny to see those reports. And then obviously the other report, ESPN FC said this during the game, that Vinicius has grown tired of Jude Bellingham because he's getting all the recognition and he's the one putting in the goals. And it was like, so 2 games in, and you're basically gonna start off with like this. I'm like, dang, like.
Jude Bellingham, his press conference when he was unveiled at Real Madrid was saying, "Hey, I'm here to soak up all the knowledge from learning from players like Toni Kroos, from Luka Modric, Vinicius, who's been here already, Rodrigo. Like, I'm here as a sponge, and I just want to soak up as much as I can and learn every day and get better. Where did you get that he's an egotistic player, that he only cares about himself when he's saying things like that? Ancelotti just probably brushed off these rumors and laughed at him like, don't waste my time with this nonsense. And if Vinicius was that selfish, he would have been that selfish when Benzema was getting all the recognition, when Madrid went on that crazy run in the Champions League.
And you see him in Brazil. He didn't act like that in Brazil.
And I spoke to a couple of Borussia reporters when they were out here in San Diego, and I asked them, hey, what did you guys make of Jude? They're like, oh, he's a great kid. He's a leader. He's like, honestly, like there was one time where Jude, when he was 18, came out and he tried, like they were down in the game, and he was the one waving his arms up like, come on, crowd, like we need you guys behind us. And they came back and won the game. He's like, it wasn't even Holland. It wasn't anybody else. It was him, the one leading the charge to get the fans all hyped up. He's like, he's always shown big leadership. And on last weekend, by the way, on Friday, it was Kepa's first game as a Madrid player. So as soon as the game was over, he grabs Kepa, he brings him over to the Madrid fans, and he starts like, hey, clap for this guy. This guy had a huge game, but obviously selfish, arrogant, all that stuff. Sounds like a little like history is repeating itself.
He's
a
the
little
new
bit.
Ronaldo, huh?
Yeah, a little bit arrogant, this, that, but
doesn't Barcelona have a 16-year-old that
that kid there.
Yeah, give him a Ballon d'Oro now.
Yeah, baby, that kid.
They're going to town on that kid. Yeah. But obviously, the big news that it feels like Real Madrid and Man U are kind of going through the same thing right now. Vinicius is now out for 4 to 6 weeks. It's gonna be a little bit, but Papa Perez keeps on saying we're gonna go the way we are. We're not gonna go get anybody in the transfer window, and it's kind of starting to get like, okay, you've lost Militao, you lost Courtois, I get it, you got Kepa, but now losing Vinicius, I think, and all they have left right now is Rodrigo, Joselu, and Brahim Diaz, without any of the youth players from Castilla. So, I mean, Eddie, what would you do right now?
I think Brahim could slide in that position.
But I mean, I think you need a little bit more depth in this.
I do think you need a striker, man. I don't know, Joselu, like, all due respect, guy. I'm sure you killed it at your previous club. Was it Espanyol, or what was he at? Or Sociedad? Was he at Sociedad? Whatever it was, right? I'm sure you killed it there, and that style of play, fits your style. But this is the big leagues, and
he's German.
With all due respect, they need a striker. And who would you go out for if you're not going to go out for an Mbappe? I think as far as center backs are concerned, you might need to bulk up on another center back, because we know that Alaba is not as reliable. Just as Varane, he's always injured. And Militao went down. You can't just leave Rudiger out there with Nacho. I mean, that's not going to work the entire season.
I wonder if Ancelotti hates
another
Mbappe.
Possible liability too, because Rudiger's another possible liability as well.
I wonder if Ancelotti hates Mbappe, because he was about to get Harry. Like Harry Kane had been the big talk, and then all of a sudden the whole Mbappe saga restarts like it has the last.
Well, I think just the way Mbappe handled it, like I think Mbappe went about it the wrong way. I mean, it was clear that Madrid went out after you, and
because Mbappe waits for others to move around and do stuff for him to react. Like Neymar,
I wouldn't be surprised if Papa Perez says, you know what, like I'm good. You're not coming over here anymore.
Holland next year. I mean, I guess if anything, but like honestly, like. You decide you want it out, and then I think the thing that that's why Real Madrid never engaged and never wanted to get like swung into this whole thing again like they did last offseason when the dude's like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna re-up. They were like, you know what, we'll wait, we'll see what he does, and then if he really wants to come, then we'll go get him. But he waited until Neymar. I think the whole ploy was to get Neymar out of PSG, and then finally when Neymar announced, oh hey, I'm leaving, it's like, you know what, I think I'll stay and then I'll leave for free next offseason. It's kind of like Papa Perez next year is gonna have a new coach, our new manager. He's gonna have all kinds of stuff, and it's gonna be like, do you really want to like try and go get this dude again? Like,
I mean, at this point, this might sound a little far fetched or whatever, because I know he just resigned, but what about a Leao? If you're not gonna go get yourself an Mbappe, what about Rafa Leao? I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. You can transition the guy into playing striker, or you
Mention
can
all
move
that
Vinicius to
speed.
striker. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I mean, I don't know what you think, JC, about all that, but it just seems like
It's tough to tell right
I'm
now
sure
because I
Carlos
mean,
Perez is growing frustrated with Mbappe.
Madrid
But I mean, they've
hasn't
said it from the
really.
beginning that 2024 was going to be the year, but I just
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I don't think he's going to want to be the bad guy that says, "Oh, I want to leave PSG for free," and I think he's going to want Real Madrid to pay something. So this whole leaving for free, I don't believe that notion.
I think it's a tough tell. You 4 to 6 weeks, transfer window closing soon. It's a tough tell because Madrid really hasn't produced much talent from the B in a while. Like an actual top quality player that's come up and really just kind of put the league on notice. And it is tough to tell. Like, who do you play over there? Right, you could definitely put Diaz there, but like Eddie said, you got to get you another striker. Jude Bellingham, right now is kind of just playing that position, and because the league doesn't really have much on him, but they're gonna start figuring it out. And if you start missing out on those goals and they're not coming in, the pressure starts applying. And you know, call it what you want. Barca still won the league last season. Not in the most convincing of ways, but they still won it. And Madrid is still expected to win absolutely every competition that they play in, and they need to have a team to do it. And right now, I still feel, center back is still a big question mark. You got to get you another one. And with this big signing and you spend all this on Jude, you unfortunately can't have Camavinga come play every position, as he can. He usually is the answer
Even
for everything.
Courtois shouted him out as the backup
He's
goalkeeper.
going to back up goalie. You saw him training out there at home. Boy, put the gloves on.
Guys
that
all
guy,
saw now, huh?
that guy's everything. He's all terrain. But it's tough to tell. You definitely do have to bolster up, especially if you're going to go on another Champions League run. And I'm pretty sure Ancelotti wants to go out on a high note. And but you spend 100 mil on a 100 mil plus on a Jude. It looks a little tight in the books, even if you weren't spending that much money in the previous windows. So, if anybody can figure out a quick little loan or develop a little mastermind scheme, it's Papa Perez, and he's gonna have to figure something out quick. And I just like how he doesn't just sign guys just to sign guys. He really scouts guys out. I feel like he really gets the coach involved with who he picks. And I think if you ask Ancelotti, he's got a list of guys that could easily bring in. And I wouldn't be surprised to hear him say he wants a Chucky Lozano, like he has said every single time
I knew you were
a
gonna say
transfer
something
window
crazy
opens.
like that. I knew you were gonna say something crazy
Hey,
like
you always
that.
asked for him. Didn't you want to take him Everton?
I knew you were gonna say something crazy.
Didn't you want to take him Everton? He's speedy. That's what you want. You just want another fast guy up there to be running until Vinny comes back, and then you can put him back on the bench.
Technically, Lozano's not that great. I mean, honestly,
he's not. But honestly, you're not going to go out there and sign another Galactico, and he's going to go off and Vinny what?
He's gonna look
now
like
what do you do with Vinny?
Just a faster Chicharito.
You know what I mean? Like it's just a guy
that
you want to get in.
No, that's not true. Chicharito could finish. This fool can't finish.
You don't want to go out there and splash on a guy knowing that you're going to give.
I get it. You should go get some loans.
I mean? You're going to get a guy that's going to come in, and he's just going to end up being a role player that can come in off the bench and do his part to help contribute to the team win. And that's just a quick, easy, cheap target to fix, because everybody's going to try to get Madrid to pay the tax and try to get them to open up the wallets, as they've been tight to do so. But you really got to go out there. They got Kepa, on a loan. Like, come on, man! Like, that was a perfect fix, because you got your starting goalie, and you got your starting left winger. You're not gonna go out there and sign a replacement guy, and then now what do you do with Vinicius if the guy blows up? I think it makes more sense to get a striker. You kind of just tough it out, and you mix in guys. You play different formations, and you do what you got to do as a head coach, as Ancelotti is. But you got to be careful. You can't just go out there and try to sign some big splash signing, because it's Madrid, and we need Galacticos. You got to be real careful, and pick a guy that's if Joao's really on the move, loan him out.
Look, I'm gonna give you something real unorthodox. I don't know how y'all feel, but maybe a Solaroth could be the option up there for Madrid at striker.
And that's a big dude right there.
Big body up there.
That's a big dude. You missed out on Harry Kane.
He's played in La Liga. He knows the
He run
league.
amok last season.
So
I mean, you just need to, like you said, like as soon as Vinicius comes back, they're going to go to the bench and kind of be a player here and there. But I totally agree. I just wonder. I wonder what his play is for this season. Like, is he really waiting to okay, these guys develop, and then next year we're really going to go at it when.
And that's the other thing too.
Because
You don't want to go and build a.
Saying like, oh, Mbappe's coming in 2024. Well, shit, you've been saying that since 2018.
You can't hold your breath on that anymore.
Exactly.
I'm not holding my breath on it anymore.
That dude keeps on changing his mind. Like, and I just don't get it. He's like, oh, I'm happy.
He's gonna go to the Premier League.
He's like, I'm happy with this.
At this point,
I'm happy with this project or whatever. But what can you be happy about? Like, Dembele is gonna get hurt. Other guys are gonna it's not gonna go well, and then you're gonna
happy
be
that it's all about him.
Oh well, that's true.
That's all it is.
Well, and I think he
has his team.
I think that's
all about him,
and he's not going to win. And then next year he's going to be like, well, crap. Like I'm looking over there, and it's like it seems like it's Jude Bellingham, Tuchmani, Vinicius, like Rodriguez. It seems like it's those guys' team. How am I going to be able to make my way over here? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Madrid could do a 2-for-1 next year and get him and Hakimi back to kind of be like, oh well, hey, we're bringing you with your
go, but
but that's another thing.
Steve Kerr cut him,
but I don't know. Hey,
whoa, don't start, bro.
He still won a lot.
These guys comparing Zidane to Steve Kerr. I can't with this guy.
Same concept. They inherited super teams and they won.
Real quick, moving on to this. I don't know if you guys saw, but obviously Jude Bellingham has 3 man of the matches. The guy that's matching him right now is Isco. That Isco, the same Isco that won 5 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid. He's
that Isco.
Four.
He was playing striker at one point, center forward, huh? That Isco.
Yeah, so he's been playing for Real Betis now. He was kind of out of the league last year. He tried to go with Sevilla, it didn't work out well, and now he's with Real Betis and he's doing well. Eddie, what do you make of this?
Should have came to Cruz Azul. That's what I think about it. But for real, this is the crazy part about this.
You want to talk about crazy takes?
Is Andres Guardado still there?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
I
think he's their captain or whatever.
Oh, still.
But I'm not surprised. Isco still had it, man. I don't understand why he was being disrespected left to right. He was supposed to sign for Union Berlin, and then Union Berlin wanted to change the contract up, and whatever the case may be. Yeah. So.
Good for him.
Good for Isco. Isco, not surprised.
JC, what do you make of Isco?
He just had to turn it on. Honestly, it was one of the things where it was a him thing, and he just had to go for it and start playing again, and you've seen it when he has a desire and the want to play, turns teams into, he's a playmaker for days. The guy has crazy vision. Sometimes the comparable guy, right? Ozil. He just reminds me a lot of Ozil, and definitely has the capability to turn the game in the blink of an eye by just sending out a quick pass, and all that stuff there. So just quick breakdown, and Isco definitely has the capability to take the league over again. And, he's going to be a quality player always if and when he wants to play. Because it really just depends on him and him being checked in.
Don't worry about that. Pellegrini's gonna get that boy moving.
And he's already doing it, and they feel like they're really using him well, and they're making him a focal point of the offense, and they're just like, give it to Isco and move, and he's gonna figure it out. And that's what they're doing, and just keep it simple. The guy likes to link up, this is why, he was a Madrid player, and that he was, brought in with such hype as a young superstar prospect, right? And he lived up to it. He got a little tired. It happens. And now he's back. He's just casually playing his game.
Well said. All right, guys. Now let's finish this off strong with some EPL weekend 4 predictions.
Let's go, baby.
Obviously, some good matches happening this weekend. So let's get it kicked off.
This is not financial advice, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
First off, it is West Ham versus Luton Town. Eddie, who you got?
West Ham. They're red hot. JC's boy Edson Alvarez is out there and he's becoming a fan favorite. But David Moyes has the boys playing well, and
What's he play like 8 minutes? Come on, guy. What are you talking
he
about?
played 80 minutes last game. So,
yeah.
West Ham for sure.
JC, who you got?
Yeah, they're running away with it. West Ham.
All right, next match: Sheffield United at Everton on Saturday at 4:30 a.m.
It's gonna be a crazy one.
JC,
I got Everton winning that one finally. I'm gonna get their dub.
Eddie,
I think Everton loses and puts Sean Dyche under pressure. I think Sheffield United almost squeaked the result out of Man City. So I got the Blades on this one.
Man City versus Fulham. Eddie,
Oof, man. I like me some Fulham. But I think this is one of those games where, he's looking better now.
Oh,
and they just signed Adama Traore, so Adama Traore is also on there.
Best buds.
So, best buds. I'm gonna go with a tie on this one.
JC, you just unlocked the Dan and Dago question of the week. He's wondering if you think Eddie is excited for his boy Pep to try and three-peat this season.
No, I think he's just as nervous as Pep is. Now that Kevin De Bruyne's out, they're really, really struggling out there, and they're turning inside out every minute that passes by. Sheffield really took it to him and had a really strong, solid performance, and it showed all the difference a guy like that makes.
I don't believe this guy. What he
and honestly, it was just a matter of time. It's a ticking time bomb out there with Pep at head coach. You saw it at Barca, you saw it at Bayern, and this is just kind of the natural process of things. I think they're both really nervous. To answer the question.
All right. So who you got, Man City or Fulham?
I'm gonna go with a draw on this one, man. I really think Fulham's gonna, squeak it out. But
there you go.
We can draw.
JC, last weekend, Nottingham Forest took it to Man U. Will Chelsea face? What do you think happens when they face Chelsea?
Nah, I think Chelsea will get it. They're starting to figure things out. Ponch starting to find his team, and freaking Sterling. I don't know where he came
nowhere.
out from. He was nuts, man. But good for him and good for Chelsea. You want to have the top teams out there battling it out. Yeah, Sterling just blew up out of nowhere, right? And I think Ponch is starting to get his guys together, and he's getting a good solid crew. And Enzo really showing up well for him, and I think they're going to run away with this one again.
What Enzo?
He's showing up in the mid, bro. He's stepping up.
I mean, I think I'm more excited about the striker Jackson. That boy looks like, he could be the real deal. I'm still waiting for Mudryk to do something.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath anymore on that one.
We'll see, but I got Chelsea on that one, champ, for sure.
Burnley and Tottenham. Eddie.
What do you think of Tottenham? I'm going to say Tottenham on this. I think Burnley are relegation candidates, and I don't care what Vincent Kompany's done in the championship. This is not the championship. This is the Premier League. I'm going to go with Spurs.
JC?
Yeah, it's going to be a Spursy weekend.
It's going to be a Spursy win, but it's going to be a win.
Brentford and Bournemouth. Who you guys got?
Oof.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I go Brentford on that one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with JC on this one. I'm going to say Brentford. Thomas Frank always got the boys moving. Too bad Ivan Toney's not out there.
Very bad.
Kind of miss him in there and the
Very
team.
Political move out there.
I don't understand. Premier League do better. You got sponsorships on shirts for betting websites, but one of your players bets and now you suspend them.
It's the end of the world.
Do better.
Who you guys got for? What was the other one that I saw? Brighton and Newcastle.
It's gonna be a real nice game, actually.
Yeah, I think Newcastle's gonna bounce back. I think they will right their wrongs and they'll be a little more clinical and more serious and more on top of it. So I think Newcastle will bounce back on this one, get the dub.
I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be a tie. I think they score 2 goals each on this one.
2 goals each?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'm going with the over, huh?
Crystal Palace Wolves.
Oof.
I'm gonna go for Roy Hodgson right here, boys.
That's where I'm lying.
The old mastermind, world-class
sir.
manager, Crystal Palace. You know, that's
Yeah,
always
they
a
have
tough
moments.
matchup.
They have moments where they look pretty solid, you know, as long as they can finish.
If IU can find the back of the net and find some form, you know, watch out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Liverpool, Aston Villa.
Oof. With
Good
Benji out.
evening.
Yeah. Let's go Villa.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Aston Villa on this one for sure.
And last but not least, Arsenal and Manchester United.
That's without a question, champ. Manchester United and the Reds go marching on. Let's go.
Eddie, you're gonna owe that guy a drink if you don't.
Oh, remember this crazy Arsenal fan? We asked him. I was like, "Hey, are you one of them delusional Arsenal fans that wouldn't take Mbappe if they asked for Martinelli in cash?" Yeah, there's no way we're giving up Martinelli. No way. And I was like, bro, this is why people laugh at Arsenal fans, because you're saying stupid things like that, saying that you wouldn't take Mbappe to your squad.
You can't make this up. I swear.
You don't want to give up Martinelli,
movie,
and this is crazy. Can't make things.
They
like
really
that
think Martinelli's like the second coming of Ronaldinho out there. I don't know.
Arteta's doing. I don't know what Arteta's doing. He's busting a pet, but he's playing party at right back. So if he's doing that, if he does that this weekend against Manchester United, you know.
Yeah.
What I gotta say.
But in all honesty, because of the injuries, it'll be a tough game for United. They'll have to be real cautious. I don't think they can afford to press up as high as they were these last games, because you know, Arsenal are kind of sweaty up top, and you know, we already know Rashford's not going to track back and play defense.
Yeah,
and you know, he's going to play every other position. He's going to do absolutely everything else for United. You know, but I mean, we saw the tape. You want to bring up a clip?
Eddie's not going to be the man of the match.
You know, I expect a man of the match performance from someone else this time. I think Bruno might show up this time and put the team on his back. But I do expect Marcus Rashford to score.
He didn't do it this last weekend, though.
100%.
For sure. No captain's performance, no nothing. It was all Rashford. But no, we gotta be real cautious. You know, can't take Arsenal lightly. We had some great duels last season, and you know, real close matches all the way through. And I think Ten Hag's really starting to figure out the top clubs. He didn't have the best streak when it came to them, and it's I really believe he has that thorn in his side, and he hears those comments, and I think he takes it a little personal. And I really think he needs a strong outing, but those injuries, man, if we can get a good, solid, you know, squad outing, it's going to be a good win.
Well, we appreciate you. What's up?
I was going to say just really quick, if Ramsdale has a poor showing, expect him to get dropped to the bench.
That definitely can happen.
Because question marks are being asked about him, about how safe are his hands really. I know he's an awesome shot stopper, but you know, so we'll see. That's a thing that's a storyline to, you know, keep an eye out for.
There you go. Well, there you have it. It has been another week of Compas FC. Like I said, we're back now. No training camp. We will be doing this weekly, so make sure you guys are on the lookout for every episode. Again, we appreciate you guys so much for checking it out. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. If you have a question for the guys or you didn't like something that they said, obviously comment and we'll put it on the show, and these guys will have at it. So, but again, we appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to hit the notification button so every time that an episode drops, you guys are knowing about it first. But we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. Thank you guys.